What's going on? It's Illusive here, and today we're going to be wrapping this steering wheel. Let's get right into it. So today we're going to be wrapping this steering wheel. Is actually off of an EP3, but the EP3 and the RSX share the same wheel. It's got a decent wear on it. I mean, it's just this color really. The wear isn't really deep in there, just this side really, but you know, who wants that? So back side's kind of the same thing. Not much wear on here, but I got it for a really good deal local. I got it for about 40 bucks, so I figured why not just rewrap it again. I have wrapped the steering wheel in the past. I'll put pictures on the screen of what it looked like. It didn't turn out terrible, but it was a first time thing, so just want to try it out. Now we're doing this one today, hopefully to sell it for some profit or keep it if I like it. Not sure yet, but here's the wrap. It's got the carbon on top and then the perforated leather on the sides. From my experience in the past, I did it all leather, so I'm not sure how the carbon fiber is going to look or how easy it's going to be to sew on here. But it's going to take me at least a few hours here, so I figured I'd document the process to show how to do it. I went through East Side Detailing. The wrap itself was about 70 bucks shipped. It's a pretty good deal. I don't think it's real carbon, but it's definitely very quality. It's not like cheap knockoff vinyl. It's a good vinyl. So, and then the kit, it comes with the whole kit. It comes with the actual plastic trim piece to actually wedge it into the pieces, the panel pieces, which I do have the panel pieces. I just took it off. This wheel didn't come with it. I have it from a previous wheel from the RSX, so I'm going to put it on later, show you guys what it looks like with the panel pieces on. But right now I'm going to wrap it with the panel pieces off. Obviously it's a little easier that way anyway. And then obviously it comes with instructions on here. I'm not going to read this because I've read it 4 times last time doing it. I have a lot of tips on doing this way now, so I'm going to try not to make this a super long video. I'm going to try and keep it down. It's going to take me at least a few hours, a good few hours to actually wrap it, so during that time I'm going to either speed it up or not include the entire thing. I'm going to end up highlighting you guys on the way. But first thing you start out with, you take the wheel here. They come with this super nice tape. We're going to tape up the edges as well as the faces that the actual wrap will stick on. So I'm going to do that quick. I'm going to, my mistake on the last wheel I wrapped, I didn't tape it enough, so the wrap started peeling up more, and there was bubbles, especially around this area. That's easy area to mess up. So yeah, if you don't use enough tape, the areas here as well as down here will start peeling up a little bit. So we're going to try and fix that this time and use more of this tape, since they give you a fuck ton of it. Like I'm never going to use this whole, I could use it around my steering wheel twice probably before it even ends. So let's tape it up here quick, and then I'll fill you guys in. Alright, so I got it mainly all taped up here, as you can see. I just did it mainly around where the rough edges are here. Because last time I did this, I did not tape it up well, and these edges started peeling up and you could see bubbles in between them. It was kind of shitty, and then it takes a lot of time afterwards to fix that. So I just figure, fuck it, I'll tape it up now and have to take off the guesswork later. So this is the front looks like. I did this. This might be a little overkill, but in the end it might be a little easier in the end to get the ends to meet better. And then this is the back side. I just did the same kind of thing. I tried to avoid putting tape on the bottom here because all the pressure is going to be down here. So if I have a piece of tape there, you might see it through the wrap. Also try not to double tape them. Like here, I almost double taped it. Try not to overlap them, otherwise you might see them through the wrap too. But this side you don't see, so you'll be good. Yeah, so now I'm going to line up the wrap here and then see how close it looks. For the most part, this is a pretty simple install. It just takes a minute to get set up properly. I'm also trying not to get in the way of the camera, that way you guys can actually see something. Alright, it's getting over there. There we go. Okay, so now the wrap is mainly, oh, it's a little crooked. Which way is it crooked? The bottom is a little off. So I'm gonna move, oh, that's the wrong way. There we go. Like I said, it's a little tricky to get it lined up perfectly because you want to get it perfect. Otherwise, you'll be fucked later on. You can't fix it. Once you peel that tape off and stick it on there, you're done. That's it. I'm gonna remove the tape off of here, and then I'll stick it flat on there. So it just comes off with the little trim pieces here. And that tape sits pretty flat as long as you got it on there with no bubbles. Around the edges here, you'll get a little bit of bubbles, but once you flatten it down, you'll get rid of those pretty much. I put a lot of fucking pieces on, so I'm gonna be here for a fucking solid minute. This tape sticks pretty good for what it is. I mean, it comes free with the kit, so I don't really think I should be complaining. And I'll do the back side here now. Once you stick it on though, it probably will not come off very easily. Especially once you start sewing it, so make sure you have it in the right place. Otherwise you will be screwed. Nothing will line up then. So if you look at the back here now, things line up pretty well. These edges line up pretty well. And then the bottom lines up fairly well. So I'm gonna start by, I'm gonna actually kind of cup it like that. And then I'm gonna forcefully put this down. You can kind of tell if you're off center a little bit, but make sure it's flat on there, and then the tape will do the rest of the work. And then once you start sewing it, then the edges here by where the threads are will get closed up. But yeah, taping it is mainly to get it sticking there, and that way when you make sure the front, obviously the face is flat, otherwise it'll look like crap. Yeah, once you kind of go like that with it, the vinyl there, it's gonna stick very good. That's what you want. Otherwise you're gonna end up getting bubbles in there and it's gonna look like crap and you're not gonna like it. And then you're gonna sell your steering wheel and then do it again like I did. So here we go. I'll show you guys closer up. We got the vinyl, not the vinyl, I don't know what I call this, the carbon fiber on the bottom edges here. So you see there's not very many bubbles at all. And once you sew it up here, these gaps in between where the sewing needle goes will be closed up. There's a little bit of a mark, oops, a little bit of mark there, but once we get it all centered, it should go away. But yeah, the flat part here, no bubbles or anything, no bumps, good. So now we start sewing. The most fun and enduring part of this. It takes forever, but if you do it right, it looks great. All right. I went with the red stitching, obviously. It'll match everything just great. I have a ton of this still left from the last time I did it, so if I need more, I won't need more, but if I need more, it should be no problem. So we're gonna start this. I'm gonna try my best to explain it to you in the best way I can, but this will be very time consuming and I will not be showing everything, as it will be like a 20-hour video, so I will get right into it. This part's kind of the pain in the ass part, because you gotta thread the needle into my dumbass. You gotta thread the thread into the needle. That's always fun and exciting. My hands are always fucking jiggy jabber. And you gotta tie a knot. You can't probably see any of this because my hands are huge. So if you don't like tedious shit like I do, attempt to not do this unless you want to make your world a living hell. I don't like tedious stuff, but I find this kind of fun. It's kind of rewarding at the end when it looks pretty good. But okay, so I got it on there. No, I don't know how to tie a knot because I'm retarded.
Nice.
Yeah, make sure you tie the knot pretty good. I learned quite a bit of hacks doing this last time. Better ways of doing this. You want to tie a knot twice, otherwise you're gonna end up like me and have it come out when you're trying to mid-thread. So, all right, we got it on there. Threaded on the needle. Took way too fucking long. Now we're gonna start threading here. There's a piece of tape there, so once we start threading it up, that tape will secure this there, so there's not any gaps. So we're gonna start doing that. I'm gonna try and find a good place for this. I might throw on the head mount here if I need to, because I can't do this one-handed. So I might just set the GoPro right in front of me and smack out of my hands. But like I said, I'm not gonna film every single second of this because it'll be like a 10-hour video. So let me get behind the camera. That might be a better idea. So they actually have really good wraps. They have a great spot to start on them all. So they have starts to stop. Oh my fuck, dude.
2,000 years later.
They have spots to start them on. So it makes it even easier. And they even give you 2 needles, so in case you need to do both sides at the same time. That way the wrap doesn't warp a different way. You can also do that, which I'll probably be doing. So let's get started here. We're gonna put the thread through the first hole. They're all pre-cut holes, so unless you fuck up and have to put the thread in a different hole like I did last time, I ran out of the red stitching. So unless you have to do that, it won't be a problem. So I can't remember how I did this now. It's been a while. It's been a few months. I didn't think so, like up September or some shit. I'm trying to keep this video as not as long as possible because it'd be very boring otherwise. So I'm gonna try and find the hole here. That's what she said, and then I'll get back. Okay, so I got her started. All you do here is you go from the back side here, so she said, and then you God, this doesn't seem to fucking focus. You just tie a knot on the end of the thread. Always overestimate the amount you need, otherwise you're gonna be left with none. So you got to get from here to all the way to this next part of the wheel with this amount of thread. So always overestimate, and yeah. So I tied a knot here. We're good there, and now I put the needle through the bottom, and now it's out the top. So we'll start threading here, and you can do any design you want, but they have it laid out for the average threading pattern. I don't know what that's called or whatever, but yeah, and you kind of go back and forth. This is what takes a long time. It's very time consuming, as you can see how many threads there are. You gotta do this every time over and over again. So once you pull it tight now, so you know how this guy will start pulling tight like this. I can't do it one-handed, so let me put the camera fucking down and not break anything. So we'll pull it down here, and you can see now it's gonna get a little more gaps in here, but once you do certain sides at a certain time, it don't look so bad. A lot of this stuff gets tucked into the back of the wheel. Like literally the entire top part here and the top part here gets tucked into the wheel, so you don't see that. But yeah, so alright. And then kind of keep going back and forth from here. I'm gonna try not getting in the way of the camera, that way you guys can see. And make sure you triple knot the starting knot that goes in the back, otherwise it's gonna come out on you. And that won't be fun. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing this until I get about right here by the end of the carbon, and then I'll kind of stop. I'll check in again and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so here's the progress again now. This will all tighten up real good once we get farther down. See how the top is tightened up pretty good and the bottom is not. The farther you go down, the more it tightens up, but so far it looks pretty good. This wrap will look a little different on this side, and a little funky until we do this side, but it's all lining up good, and the front looks really good, so I'll show you that quick. The front's all looking good. See, this is the hardest part to do, is get the front so there's no weird kinks and lines in it. But right now it looks really good. Everything looks like it's lining up really good. So I have no complaints yet, but I'll keep going a little more yet, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do after that. All right, so the hard part is done. A lot of this edge here was the hardest part. I remember last time doing this too. It won't look perfect, but you do not see this side anyway, and it's just because of how stretched it is. That's how every steering wheel is, that it's wrapped. So once we begin to do towards the center of the wheel here, it'll end up looking great, and so far everything's lining up perfect, no problems. halfway now. This is how it looks so far. Looks really good from the front. So this is the part you see, obviously. So everything is really flush in here. Once we get this back edge down, then we'll kind of see the full picture. But this is going a lot better than it did last time I did this, so I can't really complain about nothing. The stitching is looking all really good. I'm just to the perforated leather now, so I'm going to keep going. And once I get to the edge here, I will come back and show you guys what we're looking like. But once we get close, I'm going to take this tape off and then stick it down, and then same thing we did over here. So. We are officially at the hard part now. So right now I'm going to start removing the tape. We're at right next to this is the hardest part of the wheel. It's just weird shape and it's just hard to get straight. So importantly here, we're going to make sure this is flat, both sides that look exactly the same. Otherwise you get later on and they don't line up properly and there's a gap one side or the other. So we're going to make sure that's straight. This is the hardest part and I probably will mess up on. So we're going to make sure that's straight. I can't do this one-handed, so I'm gonna try and get the best angle I can, but currently I'm struggling with that. So I might actually put on the back here and get the back lined up first. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the back lined up, take the tape off, and then I'm gonna go from there. So now we're gonna stick it. All right. This is important too. This is if you don't have this flat, it'll look awkward as hell. It'll bend every which way, so the flat parts are easy to put this tape on and get it on. Alright, so we're all lined up here, it looks like, to the best of my ability. Get it out of the way so you guys can see. The two flaps here are all lined up. Now I just gotta slow it down. I hope the next side is just as even. Alright, we're in a new predicament here. Last time what I did was I went all the way to one side and tightened it down, but this time I'm going to try and start it before I tighten that side down, hopefully to make some of those creases go away. So I threaded up the needle. So they comes with 2 needles in the kit, so that's convenient. So I threaded up the other needle already. I already threaded it through, so now I'm going to start threading here, that way this centers itself, because right now it's getting pulled this way because the stitching is all there. So I'm going to start threading it on this side. Hopefully some of the creases will go away and it will look a little better than last time. Alright, it's been a solid long time since the last clip. I got everything squared away pretty good on this side. It was real finesse took to get it, but here we are looking here. So the back here has a little bit of a wrinkle in it. It might go away, it probably won't, but you don't feel this anyway on the wheel. The farthest you go down on the wheel really when you have it in your hand is like here, so you won't really feel this. I rather have the wrinkle here than on the side here where they usually go, so looks good to me. Everything's going really good now. I had a bunch of problems trying to get this perfect. It's hard to get it perfect, but I feel like we're really close to perfect now. There's a little bit of a wrinkle in here. I'll show you. There's a little bit of a wrinkle right where the red stitching is, but it might go away when we tighten it down a little bit. And there's also a little bit of a wrinkle right here. That also will go away most likely when I start stitching the top part here. So yeah, it took me a minute to get that, but this is how we sit now. The bottom's looking really good. That's looking really good. And then we go to the back here, and everything is sitting very flush compared to what it looked like before I started. So yep, there's no gaps in here at all. The back is really flush against the wheel. This is just the one wrinkle here that kind of got wrinkled up trying to get this straight. But like I said, this is going to be here no matter what. It's just super hard to get perfect in this wheel. Even with the amount of tape I added on this, it's sticking pretty good on there. Without the tape, it would be way worse. So that's an update. I'm going to start stitching up here again. I'm going to go all the way up here, videos of that. And then once I get down here again, I'm going to have some more problems. So I will recap then. funny, before I was talking about make sure you overcompensate for the amount of thread you use. I barely had enough. I'm barely gonna have enough to finish this. Barely. Overcompensate, yeah, definitely overcompensate, because otherwise you're gonna end up like me, or really close to like me, and have to redo it. So don't do that. But yeah, we're finishing up here. We got top part all wrapped up. Top part, all this part here is really easy. There's never any problems, but now I'm having problems getting out this side, so hopefully it turns out like this side and we have no problems. But right now I'm gonna have to finesse it. But right now it's not really too far off. It's just the middle part here that's causing me problems. So I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna rethread it on this side and help push this middle part that way. That way it all straightens out. But once we get that far, we'll see. All right, so this is how it sits now. Both sides pretty good. This side is really good. There's almost no, like here, this is a big problem with doing this wrap here. A lot of the wrap sticks off, but some of it gets tucked in, so some of that goes away. This side, I was having a lot of issues going back and forth with it. I had the same issue with the other wheel I had too. I was wrapping it, and it's kind of like an air bubble in here. It sticks to the tape, you can see it stick, and then it pops back up in a short while. So that's as good as I could get it. It's not bad. It's definitely better than the one I had done before, so I won't complain about it, but I really wish there was a way to get it perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so that's kind of what I'm like. So, but everything else looks great. I'm gonna finish it up here. You can kind of see the final picture here taking shape, and I will just do a time lapse or something here where we finish the end of this, because so this will go pretty quick. So. So throwback to when I said foreshadowing, always overcompensate for your thread. Yeah, I ran out of thread on the last one, so the 10 minutes it was gonna take me took, I don't know, an hour and a half. So anyway, we're done now. So cue the cinematics. Alright, so here is the final result. I started this, what time is it now? Let's check my phone. It is 9:55 p.m. right now. I started this at about, I like to say 3:30, 3:45 p.m. I took a big break, ate some pizza, came back, and then, you know, finished it. But, yeah, this is the end result. The edges I was worried about aren't terrible. This one is a little bit worse than that one. It doesn't stick up at all, but you can kind of notice it. This side turned out really good, I think. Twice as good as the one I did the first time. So, edges are pretty good. Again, you can't really see anything outside. It all feels nice. The carbon on the bottom side here got a little bit wrinkled, which isn't a big deal. You can't really feel it. You can't really see it. You can a little bit feel it. You can't really see it. So, this didn't turn out too bad either. The black kind of hides some of the wrinkles. A lot of the problems I had, I ran out of string here, as you can see. So I had to fix it up, and now it looks great. Can't really notice. Plus that side you don't see anyway, so that was what took me so long. Other problems I had on the back side, a little bit of wrinkle on the back side here, which you don't see or feel because it's like way in the back. So I figure, what's the point in having to take another hour to fix that? I figure I'll leave that. On the side here, a little bit of wrinkle. You can't see or feel it, so what's the difference? I'm gonna leave it. And this side is a smaller wrinkled than that side, but just, again, it's in the middle of nowhere and you can't feel it or see it. So that's all I got here. Everything else lines up, matches up really good. No complaints. I'd put it on my car, but I have the Type R wheel and I spent so much money on that already. So I'm gonna put it up for sale here. Looking for about $350 for it. A lot of them go around for the same price around the internet. So I sold my last rewrapped one for $350, so hopefully I can sell this one for the same. If not though, but yeah, so definitely doing this second time, I learned a lot from the first time. a lot of the same problems occurred. I feel like it's a lot of user error. I'm not super skilled and talented with stitching and sewing nonsense, but it turned out good for what it is, and took my time on it. So the more time you take, the better it's gonna look, obviously. But I could spend way more time and way more money to get this thing looking better. But on a budget, it was a good deal. $70 wrap from East Detailing, I believe. Very great brand, very good quality leather, and the carbon is really good too. It's not cheap at all. It's not cheap shit. It's good shit. So highly recommend checking them out to rewrap yours. Yeah, that's really all I got. I ran out of, yeah, like I said, I ran out of what do you call that? Fucking sewing shit, whatever. I ran out of that right on the edge here. Literally was maybe an inch short. Just inch short to tie it to the back here. I was an inch short. I was super pissed, but shit happens, and we got to complete it. So I don't know about you guys, but I want to not look at the steering wheel anymore. I've been looking at it for the past like 5 or 4 hours, so I'm getting sick of it. But I have a few more videos lined up for the next couple weeks. I'm going to be fixing my Silver RSX. Not fixing, but fixing some of the rock chips in the front bumper with a chip repair kit. I have not ordered it yet, but I will be ordering it very soon. Other than that, other videos coming up. Sorry. Other than that, other videos coming up. It's turning out to be spring here, so spring means Red RSX coming out soon. So it'll make its debut very soon. Right now it's still in storage. It's still snowing out. So love Wisconsin. Other than that, I have a bunch of parts I just removed from this table. Actually, I used today. A lot of the parts on the floor right now. So I'm gonna be showing you guys my parts list for the summer and what I'm all doing for the RSX this summer. But that'll be a different video, so you guys can't see that now. It's why it's on the floor. But I have a headache, a massive headache from doing this, so I'm going to bed. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Adios.